Hello everybody and welcome back. In this next little activity, I'm going to show you how to create a custom gem in Google Gemini for your own use. To do this, the first thing you'll have to do, of course, is go back to Gemini. I'm there already. You'll need to go into the Gems Manager area by opening the sidebar and clicking on Explore Gems, which I have already done because now I have on my main screen the word Gems Manager, the pre-made gems from Google that we looked at recently, and underneath that an area that on my screen says My Gems with a couple already in it. You're going to click on the New Gem button, this blue button with the plus sign, and build a gem from scratch. A gem is simply a tool that you create for a task that you might need to repeat quite often or for resources that you use frequently. The one I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to simply call it Admissions. I do not work in the admissions team, so apologies to anyone who is on the admissions team for things I might say or do here that, well, we don't do it that way. I'm giving it a try. So I'm going to pretend that I work on admissions, and I'm going to have it make a tool that will help me have a discussion about a student who is applying or whose family is applying to come to our school. It's hard to type and talk at the same time. It's a student discussion tool. The instructions that I'm going to give it are, I work in admissions for our school. I would like you to ask me questions about an individual student who has applied to help me decide if they are a fit for our school. So far, so good. Now, Gemini doesn't necessarily know anything about our school or about our admissions procedures, so I have open in a separate tab our website, and I've gone to the admissions area. I'm looking at the admissions procedures page, and I see it has eligibility and lots of information on it. I'm going to copy that URL and go back here and paste it into this window. I'm going to go back to admissions again and get the admissions policy, copy that URL and paste it in there. I've also taken the time to download the primary and secondary support plans, which talk about what our school does to support students that we choose to admit. Now, because those were downloaded as PDFs, I'm going to go down to the knowledge box and click on the plus and upload files. And those are waiting for me on my desktop. La 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 la. There's the one for the primary, and open, and do it again. Oops, not from Drive. I could do from Drive, but it's just on my desktop. And there's the second one, and it's in there. Now, I forgot to tell this tool what it is I want it to do. You're going to ask me questions. Be sure to reference the URLs I have given you and the documents attached below. I can test this by clicking over here. Let me click on the microphone to see what happens. Hi, I'm looking at a student who, I'm looking at a student who is applying to come to our school, and I'd like you to help me figure out if they would be a good fit. What do I need to tell you first? And you can see that Google Gemini is thinking, just like it does when you do a normal prompt. I'm going to see what sorts of things it comes up with. And again, apologies to our admissions colleagues who might say, we would never do it this way. I'm simply showing you that it is possible. While it's cooking, I'd like to remind you that everything I've put into the gem right now is on the public-facing side of our website. So all these attachments and URLs, there's no private or personal information in those documents. Because I'm having a discussion with this gem or this tool, I can ask it questions, but obviously I will leave out the student name or any identifying information about the student or their family. But the great thing about this tool is I don't have to keep going back to it and saying, you are an admissions tool and you have these kinds of information. All right, so I can see now that it's asking me some questions here. Does the student have a non-Dutch nationality and a parent who is working in the Netherlands? I'm going to give that a quick response. The student is applying with 2 passports. One passport is Dutch, one passport is Korean. One of the parents, the Korean parent, is working in the Netherlands, and the student has lived abroad in 3 other countries. Let's see if that gives it some things to think about. All right, and I can see it's referring back to the policy. It's giving some information here that says, reminder that this would need to be documented via the employer, et cetera, et cetera. This looks great to me. The admissions folks who are in this this workshop will tell us whether this is useful or not. What I'd like to show you as a kind of a wrap up here, I've taken the time, quite a bit of time, to put together this gem. When I click on the Save button up here to save the gem, it's not saving this particular discussion that I've given as an example. The screen will change and it will now be saved. It says right here, Gem Admissions has been created. I can click on Start Chat and it takes me to a live screen with that tool. And here I could actually begin that discussion. It is saved in my GEMS window. If I go back to the GEMS, I can see it here now at the top. What's nice about a gem is I can always go back and edit the gem. I can start a new chat or make a copy of that gem. Maybe I want to do a version of this, but for primary and another one for secondary. That's always possible. And most importantly, there is a share button here. When you click on share, you can actually share this with colleagues. So you could be maybe head of a team and say, I'm going to make a gem for us to use, and then you can share it out with those individuals. Because we're all in the same directory, if I was going to share it to admissions, and there it goes to the admissions mailbox, and then all those people could open and play with it. They may thank me, they may not thank me. All right, that does it for now for GEMS. Your next task is going to be to think about your own job here at school and what kind of a gem might you make? What kind of information would you need to give it? And what kind of task would you want it to help you complete? I hope you've enjoyed this fairly lengthy demo. I look forward to seeing what you come up with on your own.